Yo, what's good? Welcome to another episode of the Larry Ohh Show. We have another jam-packed episode full of FL Studio gems and music production gems. Before we hop into today's episode, I wanted to give a huge shout out to this month's sponsor, Sennheiser. What I wanted to talk about today is the Sennheiser USB Profile microphone. We're actually going to be giving one of these away, so stay tuned in the episode to hear the keyword or the key phrase, and you can comment it down below to enter to win. This is the Sennheiser Profile USB microphone. The reason why I love this mic is because it's USB-C. You plug it right in, and this almost acts like an actual interface itself. On the front, you have a push button to talk. You can mute it. This is great for doing your own podcast, your own voiceovers for videos, etc. It's really user-friendly. It's plug and go. The other thing that I love about it is the headphone input right on the back. You can plug a pair of headphones right in on the back of it. You can actually hear what you're saying in the microphone in real time, as well as audio from your device, your computer, laptop, etc. Stay tuned all the way to the end of this episode. We're going to be giving away one of these microphones. Make sure you get the keyword or the key phrase, comment it down below in the comment section. We're going to be announcing the winners next week. Again, huge shout out to Sennheiser for sponsoring and doing this giveaway with us. We appreciate your support. This is only going to make the podcast better and better every single week and every month. Oh, and before I forget, I also wanted to mention that the podcast just starts off on a random conversation that me and John are having about the new Shabuzi song that's a huge hit right now, viral, called The Bar Song, and how it's sampling the old, like, 25-year-old song by J-Quan called Tipsy. We're talking about writing credits, how all that stuff works logistically, and our opinion on the whole thing. So just wanted to give you that little bit of insight before we hop into the episode. Enjoy it. You get me. If I had to argue it and say, you know, like, all right, the reason this song is massive right now is because, you know, you took my whole vibe, which is cool. Yeah. Just give me 50% on the writing credit, on the writing side of things. Mm-hmm. He might even got something publishing, who knows, to get it cleared. They work out deals all different ways. Mm-hmm. And depending on, you know, what J-Quan's like team is like right now, I'm not really sure. But he's probably like happy to take it, whatever. Of course. Whatever. I'd be happy because a song that came out 25 years ago, bro, is like, is brought back. So now I would love to see the numbers climbing on the original song as well right now. Yeah, because they're gonna start blending it into
the blends are gonna
clubs.
Be crazy. The sounds are gonna be wild. Yep. Like all the edits.
I was curious, and we were like, "Yo, pull up the songwriting credits to see if J-Quan's on there." Yeah. So of course you have to know J-Quan's real name, which I didn't. So I got to Google J-Quan's real name, and sure enough, Jarrell Jones. Yeah. He's right in there on the writing credits.
Shouts out.
So I mean, to get something like that cleared, yeah, you can just drop it and say whatever. But at a certain point, when it gets to a certain point of virality, people are going to start reaching out. And people sometimes will just wait until a song just goes viral. Because it's just not even worth it to like sue somebody over until the song just like blows up. Right. Because you got to spend money on both sides if you want to sue somebody over some songwriting, sampling stuff.
Wait till it gets big.
But he probably was like, yo, I know the song is just going to pop.
When you listen to that beat too, there's like 3 sounds.
In the original one?
In the original.
Oh, in the original one, it's got the old school stomping drums. I was like, I need to find these samples, these stomps, the stomp kicks and the claps. Yeah. There's only, like you said, there's probably only just a kick, maybe some sort of sub bass, the big clap that you hear. Mm-hmm. And then that dun 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 dun. It's like a weird synth bass.
That hat that goes up.
Yeah. For the transitions.
So that leads me to my verses. First verses of the show.
Let's do it.
Simple beats. Or complicated, like a bunch of stuff going on in the background, you know?
Bro, if you talk to 15 years ago, Larry, I'd say, oh, I got to be putting my sauce on there. I got to, you know, complicate it out. Like, I got to go hard with it. Now, it's simple. Simplicity is key.
Yep.
And it really, I would say, yeah. So it also depends what you're going for, because there's producers that are dropping songs that
What would you rather listen to? What are your what are your favorite beats, usually?
Bro, that's hard.
Because I listen to Metro beats.
I listen to instrumental stuff
and
right now.
And Metro's beats, I feel like, not complicated, but you can tell a lot of detail goes into like every single sound.
But they sound simple.
Right.
But there's a lot of thought that goes behind those simple beats.
He be in the cut, really saucing it up.
Bro, I don't know. I can't even put an answer on that, because literally if you were to like listen to my Spotify playlist right now, you would go down it. It'd be like the Shabuzi song at the top, because I just liked it. If you go down my liked. And then I literally have this dude, RJ Payson. He's, if you don't know him, go look him up. It's all instrumental stuff. I mean, he does have some vocals stuff out there because he just throws all this music. One of the most ridiculous guitar players and producers I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. He does the craziest, fastest, like picking. I don't even know what you call it, tapping.
Yeah.
Craziest stuff ever. And then he'll blend it with 808 stuff
Mm-hmm.
and then real metal drums. He's like a metalcore guy.
Right.
You could tell that's how
I think
he
I've
came up.
seen his videos
You
and stuff
definitely
with the
have.
mashups.
It
And
always says sample this.
Yeah,
It always
yeah,
says sample
exactly.
this.
Yeah.
And he just drops like a guitar loop,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes crazy. You could tell there's a lot of post production on it, but it's ridiculous. But that just goes back to that verses is like my playlist is 50-50. It's instrumental stuff, and there's stuff with vocals that are way less complicated on the production side of things.
Mm.
But then you hear the instrumental stuff, and it's meant to be a full finished product, whereas it's kind of like Tumphy's stuff.
Mm. You can
Tumphy's,
listen to it for
it
what
might
it
be
is.
hard to get a vocal on there because it's more complicated, but
Mm.
it's dope to listen to. What about you?
For me,
What do you like to? It
for
depends on what you like to
beat-wise?
make or listen to.
Yeah. I like something. I think I like more simple.
Yep.
Just because I like one like quality joint that somebody's gonna go over.
Mm.
Like I love those beats. Like lately, I've been digging those like beats that are just like a loop of like some old jazz joint and some rappers just going in over it. That's
Yeah.
that's my kind of stuff right there.
Yeah, just like a simple vibe.
Simple vibes, you know. But as far as like the origin story of that, I feel like was like Cool Kids. Do you remember the Cool Kids?
Yeah.
Like Chuck English, his
Yeah.
beats
Yep.
were like some of my favorite that were like massively influential for me wanting to make beats in the first place.
Mhm.
Was hearing his beats and just like he had a song called Black Mags, and that shit was awesome.
Just simple.
So
sounding.
simple and like loose and just loud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was kind of the vibe for me. And that leads me to like this next. So people keep talking about like the TikTok being banned and all that. Do you think that that's gonna happen for real? For real?
They just sued the United States government supposedly, or they put in a lawsuit.
Oh, word?
Yeah, and that is probably to delay everything. So
Yeah.
like everybody's talking about it right now because all these bills kind of just passed and whatnot.
Mm.
But I think, like any normal lawsuit type of situation, they countersue, they do this, they do that, they appeal this, appeal that to delay everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I don't know, man. I don't even understand how a Chinese company can sue the United States government. I don't even understand that. You know what I mean?
Right.
How
That's
can
crazy to me.
Can anybody? That's just like anybody can sue anybody, I guess. Like, so how does that work out?
Standard, yeah.
So where do you go to court?
Well, my whole thing is like
where do you go to court?
I find so
You know?
much music on TikTok that I'm
Yeah.
just like, man, if they take my TikTok away,
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose
But
out
bro,
on so much music.
Yeah, for right now.
For right now.
But
yeah,
now,
for sure.
But right now, everybody's talking about the TikTok ban. There's somebody in a basement right now coding a brand new app that's going to take over the world, and TikTok won't even be a thing in 5 years from now. Or who knows? It might not.
Yeah.
But that's just how social media goes. It'll be something else. It'll just be something else. But what's going to happen if that does happen? All that attention has to still go somewhere.
Right.
It just can't stop.
Yeah, it always. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So there's you just got to be on top of where that attention is.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go Gary V on it. You just got to just stay on top of where the attention is on social media.
Yeah.
Because Gary V and a lot of people say 25 years ago, the attention was on TV, which is why everybody dumped so much money into commercials for cable TV.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's social media and everybody's dumping their money into advertising on social media.
Right.
So it's the same thing. You just got to pay attention to where the market goes and where the attention goes. It'll probably, if nothing else pops up, it'll probably just go to Instagram and Meta. It'll probably just shift there, and all the attention will go there again, and it won't be split so much, And it's just that's what it is.
I think it could be YouTube.
It is on YouTube.
I think it could be YouTube.
Like with the music side of things they'd have to change something up. I feel like on there,
Yeah,
because the trends all start and stay on TikTok, it seems. And they do seem to like blend into Instagram, and some do even start on Instagram as far as reels. But nothing starts on YouTube.
Right.
It's almost like nothing starts on YouTube.
Right.
They don't make it easy, I feel like, to use a sound to discover music. There's a lot going on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of stuff going on there. I feel like that's as far as YouTube Shorts go, and the sound and the audio side of things.
Yeah,
it's like a repost thing. It's like, let me like repurpose my stuff from other things here.
Right. Yeah, I've messed around with YouTube, and when I was doing the reels for 'em, or the shorts, it worked well, I'll
Mhm.
say. Um a lot of it just had to do with the content though.
Mhm.
Like the song did well. You know what I'm saying? And like being consistent. And there was like sort of an algorithm at play where it was like a quantity thing and like the time that you post. Is I did
Yeah.
notice that. I was like, "Oh, cuz some places I don't feel like it matters as much, but I don't know, other places it does."
What I've
So,
noticed on YouTube Shorts is that the consistency, it was the biggest thing.
yeah.
So I would post one every so often and it wouldn't do well. And then I don't know if it's a combination of like the different style podcast content or what, but then I would just schedule a ton of them out. The ones that I've posted on
Mm,
TikTok and Instagram and whatnot,
yeah.
which
You would
reminds me,
schedule them?
I have to do it. With YouTube Shorts, I would just schedule a ton of them. So
Yeah.
right now I probably am at a point where I need to go back and reschedule like a ton of them. And
Mm.
that reminds me that I have to do that now. And
Do you
then I
do
would
that
just do
mobile or is that on the desktop?
mobile.
Oh, okay, good.
Mobile, yeah, but yeah, you could do everything on mobile. It's weird with YouTube Shorts though, not to get into like a whole social media thing, but like YouTube Shorts is like you do it within a mix between the regular YouTube app and
Mm.
then the YouTube Studio app.
Right,
So it's
right,
like
right.
you have there's certain things that you can and can't do on both when you upload a YouTube short.
I've noticed that
Yeah,
too.
like you can't change the thumbnail on
Right.
after you upload it. It's so odd. It's
They
so
get
weird. Yeah,
I know, I wish that they would kinda like get it a little more like cross blended
yeah. There was a
so you
couple
could
of
do more.
yeah, man. There's a couple of things that they fixed, but it's still not 100%.
Mm.
But yeah. I mean, YouTube Shorts can be a really good thing for discovery. I think you got to make sure that you're on all the platforms. So if you're dropping beat videos or a tutorial, whatever you're doing, like you
Yeah.
music wise, make sure it's on everything.
Whatever
I just repurpose my stuff and I put it on YouTube Shorts.
whatever social media comes next, like they gotta tap in with how the TikTok algorithm works.
Yeah,
Because the TikTok outreach is like compared to nothing
it's
else.
insane.
It's
Yeah,
compared to nothing else. Like I've connected with real people the quickest on TikTok.
yep,
And those people have found me on streaming. They've found me on other social media and like been able to like reach out to me and
mhm,
DM me and like we've built up like rapport with each
yeah,
other to the point where like I now know people in other states that want to see me do a show and stuff.
yep,
And it's a good way to get started as an artist is like using an app like TikTok that just has the right algorithm. Like
yeah,
they have the right way of pumping new stuff out to people.
mhm.
And I feel like for a long time, like Instagram was really good with the hashtags, but I've noticed like
They don't matter anymore.
I don't get as much reach on any of the
The,
stuff that I do with tags.
the hashtags don't matter at all anymore.
Yeah,
They
it's
don't.
messed up. I'm
You
like,
know what
yeah,
matters more is like what you put in the description of the post on Instagram now. It's
yeah.
because it knows um that algorithm
Mm,
and they've incorporated a lot of SEO search engine stuff into it.
mm,
So you could put like a couple of hashtags just so like the words are there and Instagram just picks up on what the content is about.
mm.
Trending hashtags don't matter at all anymore.
Right.
Like using those hashtags to get discovered, they don't matter. They don't matter at all.
And that was big.
It was huge.
That was how
I would
you started your thing
Bro,
rolling, bro.
I would be able to tell like what was going good. I
Yeah.
would go to the hashtags and see if it was trending in
Yeah.
like the
You'd
top.
see if you was in the top, like
Yeah,
whatever.
all the time, every
Yeah,
day,
and you'd
every
scroll
post.
up, there I am. And
Yep.
then you realize the next day, like this one, I'm at the top.
Yep.
Like that was mad useful.
Yeah, and I would be hyper focused on what hashtags are working, what new hashtags are trending a lot, like
Yeah.
who's not. And then you use a certain mix of hashtags, but yeah, man, they don't even matter anymore. The
Mhm.
algorithm, everything has changed there. They don't matter on TikTok either. That's how
Mm.
Instagram just kind of stole that and that algorithm. And once that algorithm started taking place more on Instagram for Reels,
Mm.
it's like the same thing. And TikTok just changed everything about social media. They literally changed everything. That's why Reels started. That's why YouTube Shorts started. That's why everybody's just copying the way TikTok's algorithm works because of discoverability
Mm.
and the way that videos and content and music and everything gets rewarded.
right.
their platform, and everybody's taking it because it works so well.
And they tapped into kind of like the streaming mode in that, like, when you go live and stuff, people are able to gift,
Oh, yeah,
people are
that's
able
huge.
to send likes, people are able to like share. All that is huge. And I don't think that any other app has tapped into that
No.
component of like online, marketing either, where it's
No.
like TikTok really tapped into that too.
The
So
live streams on TikTok are like pretty unmatched as far as a social media platform goes for discoverability.
yeah.
Like, even if you started streaming on YouTube or you started streaming on Twitch, the way that everybody kind of knew about streaming,
Mm,
you can't get discovered like that. Like, you got to put in a ton of work and a ton of time to get noticed on those platforms, and you got to do a lot of pushing from other platforms to that platform.
right.
Whereas with TikTok, say you're a producer and you just start streaming yourself making beats and cooking up beats, and you're entertaining and you're energetic and you're like really sociable with the people that are coming in and out,
Mm,
and people start liking and they start sharing the live stream, that goes crazy. Whereas
right.
on these other platforms, it's not like that. It's
Yeah,
not
you
as
don't have the same
interactive like that.
engagement tool.
Nope.
But what they do have that it's weird because all these platforms have different components that they're almost like holding off from each other in a way. Where like if you watch streams on YouTube, you can rewind the stream when it's on.
Yeah.
You can't do that on Twitch. You
Mm-mm.
can't do that on TikTok. You can't do that on Instagram Live and all that. So it's like there are certain things that are able to be done on like platforms that aren't able to do like on other ones. And I
Yep.
feel like they got to figure that out where it's like we got an open source app. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Open source social media where like it's almost like big community. You know what I'm saying? Where like open source is very like closed network sort of thing. But like imagine if it was as big as like Instagram, but
Yeah.
it was just like almost how FL taps in really easily with the community.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it is kind of a closed network in the way that people have to pay for subscriptions and things. But like, imagine it wasn't.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, we just kind of like hopped into the pod today. So if you're joining us and you're waiting for that like intro, it hasn't happened yet because we just got to talking.
We switching it up,
Yep.
you know?
Yep. But yo, thank you guys for watching and joining us. This week, like every other week, we're doing a big giveaway again. So the way to enter the giveaway is you comment the keyword, the key phrase in the comment section here on YouTube. So if you're listening, watching somewhere else, head over to YouTube, head over to the comment section. When you hear the keyword, the key phrase, comment it down in the comment section below, and 5 winners will be announced. What we're giving away is every single one of my FL Studio courses and the Sennheiser. Hold on, let me get this real quick.
You got it.
I got them to give away a microphone. So let me just be sure to get the actual microphone right. All right, so yeah, thanks to Sennheiser for sponsoring the podcast. They are going to be giving away a Profile USB microphone. And I'll put an image of it right here so you can see it. I have one at my home studio, but I forgot to bring it. So I'll put an image right here.
Wow.
So yeah, 5 winners. The 1 winner for the microphone though. So one of the 5 will get all of my courses and the microphone. So one grand prize winner, and the other 4 will also get every single one of my FL Studio music production courses. So shout out to Sennheiser for sponsoring, giving away microphones. We're gonna keep this going for the rest of the month.
I've been using Sennheiser for years. I love it.
It's an iconic brand. We got the Neumann, which if you don't know, they own it. Sennheiser owns Neumann or Neumann.
Neumann's own.
Yeah. Neumann's own. That the half and half.
Yeah, Neumann's own.
The iced tea lemonade mix. Whew, that hit the spot back in the day.
Facts.
The 99 cents. Those probably aren't even 99 cents anymore.
Nah, nothing's
back in my day.
Neumann's own.
Well, you know we
he
haven't
makes
done
good
in a while.
salsa too. That Neumann's own salsa is.
And doesn't he have salad dressing?
Yeah, that's because he was a movie star, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That
Paul
dude,
Newman.
He played a pool shark in a movie. I never seen any of his movies.
I saw that one. I know that he was in one.
Cool
of my
Hand Luke was the name of the movie, I think.
Oh, I never saw that.
Cool Hands Luke.
in the 70s, probably, right?
I think it
80?
was older than that.
Yeah.
I think it was in the 50s or
Bro,
something.
you know what he was in that I loved? You got to watch?
Hmm.
Slapshot.
Oh, no kidding,
Woo!
yeah?
One of the best, most iconic hockey movies of all time.
Yeah.
It's ruthless, bro. These guys are animals.
Yo,
Animals. The Hanson
it's
brothers.
a comedy or something,
It's a comedy. Yeah, I would say comedy.
but it's got like other stuff going
Oh,
on
bro,
too.
it's
Yeah.
wild, it's nuts. It's like the worst hockey team, and he's the coach and the player of it. And then he just, I don't know, nobody's wearing helmets. It's like 70s hockey. They're beating the crap out of each other.
Right.
It's just a wild hockey movie if you haven't seen it.
If you ever watch like movies from the 90s and stuff, what I realized, because we're both big fans of movies from the 90s, like, but if you notice, there's always like a sport like scene where dudes are like playing football to like, there's like a decisive moment in the movie where they're just like, all right, Stallone's gonna play football and he's gonna show these guys, like, bro, and he's the quarterback and he's running everything. Like, it makes no sense. He's getting all the shots. It's like, what position is?
I'm a huge 90s fan. I like 90s movies fan. There's nothing like it.
Nothing like it, yo.
No, even if like, I mean, there's even my kids. I put my kids in front of the like 90s movies and they love it, bro.
Yeah,
and they love it. I mean, they love movies from now. Don't get me wrong. I do too. I like movies that are from now, but there's something about them, the way they were made. They were just like less. I would say, the biggest difference that I know, and this goes for music too. So I can tie this into music big time.
Big time.
You watch a movie from the 90s and you listen to a song from the 90s, say. Listen to a song from there, watch a movie from then. The attention span's different. Obviously, we know this because of social media, right? And it plays a huge role in how movies are made now and how songs are made now. When you listen to a song now, how fast does it have to get right to the point? When you watch a movie now, how fast does it have to get right to the point?
Yeah.
You can't have these long, drawn-out intros. That goes for music and movies. That's one of the biggest things that I notice when I watch a movie from the 90s. Right. Or even listen to a song from the 2000s and the 90s. There was a 30-second, 45-second intro where it's instrumental and it's building up into something. Right. Same thing goes for the movies back then. You watch this and the opening credits are just like 5 minutes long. And it's opening credits.
Right. It'd be like the Marvel movies would have them long.
And it's some
intros.
like montage type of thing where it's showing you the city that the movie is based in, and it's going around and showing you different parts of the city. Or if it's a baseball movie, they're showing like parts of the baseball field and people walking in and punching tickets, and like, so, and it's a long drawn out thing with music at the beginning of the movie too, like a song. And that's one of the biggest things that I've noticed now, that songs and movies are shorter and more straight to the point.
Well, I don't feel like movies are shorter. I feel like movies, I've seen a lot of longer movies where I'm like, they could have cut a lot of this out. Yeah. But because I feel like for instance, there was one of the new Spider-Man movies, which I thought was dope, but it was like 2.5 hours long. And it was mostly just like eye candy, in my opinion. Like, I was like, there's not really much of a story to this. It's just kind of cool looking. Like, you're almost like, it was when like AI art was like really popping and people were just like, yo, it's crazy. And it was all like that. It was influenced by that. It was like generative AI, like kind of stuff going on. And I feel like you're definitely right about the attention span, because movies in the 90s, I feel like were written by, like, they were made by writers. So like you would blow the budget, so to speak, on like a really good writer who was gonna make the bangingest script and the best screenplay ever. And now I feel like they blow the budget on like CGI and like people who are going to design stuff that's going to be mind-blowing,
and put that into music and you can almost say the same exact thing.
Yeah. I see that.
They don't blow the budget on sitting in a studio for an entire month and sleeping there and staying there. Yeah. And you get the album done in that studio and you don't leave. It's not how the budget's spent nowadays. It's spent on marketing and social media. It's spent on, it might be spent on some writers to get some writers in the door, but music's always been like that. You've always had writers coming in.
I watched this interview recently, this Bootleg Kev interview, where they talked about how like the street team marketing scheme was kind of how like a lot of money back then would go missing. And this isn't that long ago. This was probably like there maybe like 2017 that like Yellow Wolf was the artist that he was interviewing, and this dude rolled up to like a Crimson Tide game. He was like working a single for like that, and he was trying to hitch it onto their season. And he rolls up to the stadium, and like I guess the street team marketing that the label said that they had spent like, you know, I don't know, $30,000 on. He rolls up and it's a dude in like a U-Haul truck with a megaphone being like, "Oh, like Yellow Wolf, like
That's the street team.
yeah, they gave him 1500.
That's a term you don't even hear anymore. Street team.
Yeah, but I feel like it's still relevant because there's still the need to do like that sort of.
But I feel like the message is just, instead of it being delivered like in person, like that, it's social media.
It's social media, but
and then everybody gets talking about it.
I just wonder how much money you really need to spend on social media, though, because with good content, you don't really have to spend all that much, and you can just kind of like work it like that.
It depends. Like you can make can make a song into a hit by putting a ton of money into it. What I've noticed too, like about the new Taylor Swift song, I don't think it's hitting like a Taylor Swift song would normally hit. And now what I'm seeing now that I've never seen is her. The one with Post Malone. Like, it's a good song, don't get me wrong, but now it's one of those songs that you just, once you hear it 50,000 times, it's like, oh, now it's a hit, and it's stuck in my head because I heard it 50,000 times. How did you hear it 50,000 times? Because it's playing here, it's playing in this commercial, it's playing on this one, because they paid to put it here, they paid to put it there, right? Whereas a song like, to go back to the beginning of the pod, talk about the Shabuzi song, you know, and that song just naturally took off. I don't think you have to put as much money behind that one because of the type of song it is. It's just a hit.
Right.
Yeah, you still put money behind it, but not nearly as much as, say, this is just my opinion, and I don't really know the facts behind it, but if I had to guess, I don't think they're putting as much money into the Shabuzi song as they would the Taylor Swift song, because the Taylor Swift song isn't an instant hit to me. That song just isn't. They're making it a hit. And you heard Russ talk about that too. Yeah, you can make a song go #1. You just got to have the money to do it.
Right.
You can make a song go #1. You got to have the name, the face, and the money to do it.
And also the Shabuzi marketing looks different because of the type of, like you said, the type of song. It's a country song.
Yeah.
Where like,
well, it's pop though. It's just
it's pop.
Big.
It's pop, but it's crossover.
Country based.
It's country. It's country crossover. Where it's like it's not like Chris Stapleton country.
No.
It's like pop country.
Yeah.
Where like people are gonna hear that in the bar. It's just like, I don't know how to describe it because I'm not like an industry head like that, but you definitely spend more in the arenas of like pop, because a pop song, you've got 30 writers on the joint. You need to like, you know, and you have the tap. Like Taylor Swift has the tap, the money, so to speak, on tap, where it just goes, it goes. But like songs will still be massive hits, but be low impact in the long run. Like a song that I think of in that case is that Rihanna song with Drake back in the day that went, "Oh na na, what's my name?" Hit. Yeah. Massive hit. Probably made it a hit because now it's nowhere. Yeah. Nobody gives a fuck about that song.
It's true.
It's
not a timeless. Well, I mean,
it's not a timeless joint.
Yeah, but I think something like the Shabuzi one might be a timeless song.
I don't know.
I think you're going to be
way
seeing
too
that.
Soon to say.
You're going to be that in my mind. I feel like you're going to hear that at weddings 20 years from now. That's a song that I feel like is going to be played at a wedding.
Interesting.
Like Nelly, "Take Off All Your Clothes, Hot in Here."
Okay.
You hear that at weddings still to this day. Why? Because it was a hit then. They put a shitload of money behind it then. They made it more of a hit, and it's a timeless song.
I could see it. You
know what I mean?
I could see it. Yeah.
I could see that one. I could be totally wrong, but I see that being that type of song because that crosses over into, that's not just a country song now. It's country based. It's like a hip hop song. Like it's like if you look at Lil Nas X, Old Town Road. Yeah. That was a hip hop / country song that just crossed over into everybody loving it. Yeah. That's how I look at that. That's what makes it pop.
And you know what they sampled for that song, by the way?
Wait, do I know this? I don't think...
Country Road or whatever?
No, I don't know. Old Town Road?
Yeah.
No.
It was a 9 Inch Nails sample.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, dude, it's like the saddest 9 Inch Nails song. And they just flipped it and they were like, "Good take." That's hilarious. I love that.
I'm drawing a blank on the producer team right now. Day Trip.
Day Trip.
Those guys are awesome. Those guys are
Yeah.
like animals with the production,
Yeah.
and I think they're FL guys. I'm pretty sure they're FL guys, but they use a lot
Tap
of
in.
hardware.
Yeah,
They use
tap
a
in,
lot of
yo.
hardware, but mixed with FL. They're really, really good.
Mm,
And they did all of Lil Nas, not all of it, but like
mm.
you hear that tag on so many Lil Nas X songs.
Favorite or like top 3 if you want to do top 3 producer teams. I was going to say
Teams?
duos, but teams.
I mean, you gotta. All right, so teams is now we're getting into that's tougher.
Then duo?
No, I mean just teams or duos or whatever, however you want to do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. Guys.
it's harder than just saying like one producer. What's your favorite top 3 favorite producers?
Right, yeah.
Like duos or teams
Yeah.
is dope. I would say Neptune's has to be up there.
Right away.
Neptune's got to be up there. See, there's not that many production teams. I would say Neptune's has got to be top
Mm-hmm.
at the very top.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even think of many other ones.
I would say 1500 or nothing.
Oh yeah,
1500 or nothing.
Yep.
who
You got to say
did-
Internet Money. You got to say Internet Money.
Mhm.
Internet Money has to be in there.
Yeah.
They-
I'd put
you know how many hits they're behind in the last like 5-7 years?
Yeah.
Internet Money is definitely up there. You don't think about them too much when you say, because then you start thinking about iconic and like old school groups like Neptunes. That's what came to mind first. But
Mm.
you really think about it, Internet Money's big up there, bro. They have so many producers on their team, and they're like,
I wonder if you would consider like the Roots a production team, because
I would
they've made
consider
a
them-
bunch of Merc. What do you think?
I consider them a band.
They're a band, but like they were behind a few beats and stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
They made like D'Angelo joints, didn't they? I mean, he was in the Soulquarians. They're just a band.
I would consider them a band, right? That's
I'm
what I
trying to
would.
think of like producers in that lane. That
You know what's a good producer duo, and they never really put like a stamp on it, but they've made a decent amount of hits together, is Dr. Dre and Scott Storch.
Oh yeah,
They made a lot of songs together.
yeah.
And people don't really notice it too, but like when you go back and you listen, you're like, damn, like I can really tell. Like if you say it, like you know what song comes to mind with Dr. Dre and Scott Storch is the Game song, Start From Scratch.
Yeah.
Remember that song?
Yeah.
That beat's wild, bro. And
Yeah.
you can hear both of them on it. You can hear it. You can hear it. Like you can hear Scott Storch on the keys, and you can hear Dre on just like the overall drums and production.
Storch was going crazy with like the Fireman beats and
Yeah,
what?
bro.
Oh my god, dude! Or
There was a
Make It
time
Rain, Make It Rain.
Bro, he was on. There was a time in the 2000s where Scott Storch was making, I think, like $1 million a beat, and he was on every single hit that there was. He did Lean Back.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, you name a song from that era, from like 2004 to like 2006, it's like 90% Scott Storch beats.
right.
Maybe even earlier than 2004. Chris Brown,
Mm,
bro, you name it.
bro.
And it wasn't
insane.
only he was just every song of his was a hit.
Yeah.
It's like every song that he produced was a hit. That's what it seemed like, anyways.
What do you think about tag versus no tag on beats?
It depends. It's got to be
Right.
really, really good and iconic.
Because you know Pharrell's
I would
got
say no tag.
because you've got Pharrell with the 4 count.
He's
That's
got
his
the
tag.
Yeah, he's got like that. Yeah,
Pharrell with the 4 count.
yeah. The
is
repeat,
like
the repeat at the
yeah,
beginning. I
dun,
love it.
dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Oh, crazy.
I would
No
say
tag though.
I
but
would
just
say
that.
I would say if I had to put something on it, I would say no tag, because then if you force a tag,
Yeah.
I think it's got to happen naturally. I think
Facts.
the best tags have happened naturally.
Yeah.
Whereas it was somebody else in the studio that just said something on the fly in an intro, like
Yeah.
how Future did the Metro Boomin one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was just him doing,
And he
on
took
the
the
fly
vocal.
type thing,
Yeah.
and then he just took it and used it as his tag. That's because it just happened and sounded so natural that it just sounded right.
Right.
And
Don't
it fit.
force your tags. Please
Yeah,
don't force
it.
your
Just let
tags.
it happen. Just let it happen. It'll happen eventually.
How many
And if
times
it
have I
doesn't,
heard
people will
like,
notice you for your sound, and then that's your tag.
Yeah.
You know,
right,
like
exactly.
I feel like tags happen because they started out, I think, because it was the whole internet production beat selling thing where nobody wanted people to steal their beats, so they would put tags on their beats.
I got a beat pack one time from this producer. He's gonna remain nameless because his name was all over these beats. He sent me a beat pack and he was like, yo, mind if I send you some beats? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. He sends me a beat pack. And like every 15 seconds, he's got the tags put in there. Not even on beat. It doesn't even sound good.
No, he just threw them in without listening to
yo,
it.
this is Young Beats, you know, like in the middle of it. And I'm like, well, I'm not using any of these.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, your tag's got to sound good. It's got to be like rhythmically interesting and sound nice in the pocket. Because if you're just doing it to like keep somebody from stealing your beats, you've already lost. Because you're just like, you're messing up their flow. When I hear that beat and it gets interrupted, it could be a dope beat, but if you're interrupting it with some like nasty dumb tag, then I'm not gonna write to it, and
it'll throw you off,
and you're not gonna get your beat written to anyway.
Because now all you're thinking about is the tag and not the music.
You're anticipating it.
Yeah, so now you're thrown off. You're thrown off too. You're like, all I'm thinking about right now is the tag, and I'm not thinking about this.
And
beat.
I know it's coming up, and there it is. Oh.
Yep. I think the best tags are the ones that people want to like sing or rap or like talk along with when they happen.
Right.
And the best tags are also the ones that people get super hyped when they hear the tag.
Yeah, right.
Like you hear a song and a beat starts and then you don't hear the tag yet, and then somebody hears that tag and they know it's gonna be a hit. Those are the best tags, but those happen with time and those happen naturally. They just have to happen naturally. You can't force those.
Yeah. Underrated beat tag, TM88.
TM88, the siren.
I love that.
That's one. I also think a good beat tag is a tag that you don't really notice that it's a tag.
It's in the beat.
It's just in the beat. It's there. I think Illmind has like the birds.
Yep.
Like I feel like I forgot what kind of bird it is, like a hawk or something, like or an eagle.
Oh yeah.
He has that.
Those are fresh.
That. I like ones like that you know it, and but it doesn't disrupt anything. But you know it's about to be a hit because you know they got their flavor on that beat.
Right. So that's some like tag gems, some tag insight.
Don't force them.
Don't
worry about people stealing your beats. You should want people to steal your beats because if they're stealing your beats, it means they want them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that whole beat tag thing is overdone and people were just so paranoid about them stealing the beats. That's why beat tags started in the first place.
Right. And I would just say, if you worried about people stealing your beats, get your paperwork in order. Like make sure that your stuff is covered so that way if somebody makes a hit and they're working it, let them work it.
Yeah.
Let them blow up with your song and then, hey, I made that.
Just like the same thing we were talking about with the sampling earlier and the songwriting. Like sometimes people just like notice, all right, I know I seen this dude, you know, used the part of my song, but it's not worth it to go after them right now. Or you know, maybe reach out and say, hey, I co-wrote this, and then if they turn it down, I'm like, all right, if and when it becomes a hit, I'll reach back out with a team. You know what I'm saying? I think the same thing goes for your beats.
Yeah.
Get your paperwork in order, get your PROs and all that stuff in order, writing credits and publishing stuff, get all that stuff out there and in order. And then if songs become hits, like you'll get it.
Right.
It'll come back to you. If you have everything in order and you can prove that you made it, like I would say you should want people to rip your beats off of YouTube. That means people are wanting your music.
Right.
And if it happens so consistently and over time,
Zaytoven,
you create a business out of it.
Zaytoven's one of my favorite producers, and he had a piece of wisdom that he gave out, which was like, I would just send the same pack of beats to a bunch of rappers that I knew. And it would be like a good pack of beats. Like it would be a lot of different beats, but you know, a bunch of people would get them, and the street version, because this was back when they were doing like mixtapes and street versions of things.
Yep.
The street versions, there would be 4 or 5 like songs with that Zaytoven beat.
I remember those days.
The Bobby Shmurda beat, the Week Ago beat.
Yep.
He originally gave that to Lloyd Banks.
Oh,
and
really?
Lloyd Banks had a song on that, and you know, it just didn't do what people kind of thought it was going to be. Jaleel Beats and Bobby Shmurda took that and made it a hit.
Damn.
Shouts out to Lloyd Banks though. Lloyd Banks doesn't get enough credit, but Cold Corner 2 is one of my favorite mixtapes of all time. Anyways.
Mixtape days were crazy days, bro.
Big facts. Big facts.
It is time to announce the winners from last week. So we're gonna go through 5 winners from last week, and then we'll do the keyword right after this.
Let's go.
It ends up happening like this every episode. I try to like space it out, try to do it in the middle. Just sorry. What can I tell you? This ain't a well-oiled machine yet. It's just me and John and Merc. It looks really good and sounds really good, but I would love to have like
you just need a small person to pinch you when it's time, like just sitting off behind you need a Beetlejuice.
Like we need a director and a producer and a writer. Like I would love to have it be like a crazy like TV show type of show, like a Pat McAfee show.
Right.
Where like really, really a lot of stuff going on. Like something you tune into on Sports Center, something that you do, like eventually I'm talking down the line. I'm talking like a real TV show type of thing.
Yeah.
Where like people aren't really even calling it a podcast. I know we're calling it a podcast because we're uploading the audio and that's the thing now, right? But I would love it to be a show, like a show, you know?
For sure.
For just throwing that out there in the universe. All right, so the keyword for last week was boiler room. So we're gonna scroll, and the first winner is Omer Posner. First winner. Winner number 2. Boiler room. Jeremy A 5241.
Shouts out Jeremy.
Winner number 3. The 5th winner will be the microphone winner.
The guy.
So this is number 3. Salters B Davis IV 5430.
He's the 4th.
Winner number 4?
No, he's the 3rd, but he's the 4th. His IV 4.
All right, winner number 4 is Wanfer Jacob 3885. Winner number 4. Now, winner number 5 and the big grand prize winner of the Sennheiser USB Profile microphone and all my courses, TJam_Productions. TJam_Productions. Congrats to the rest of the 4 winners as well. So the first 4 winners that I announced, you're going to be getting every single one of my FL Studio music production courses. The last winner, T-Jams, is going to be winning all of those courses and the Sennheiser USB Profile microphone. Shout out again, Sennheiser for sponsoring.
Yeah, T-Jams. Let's go.
So, keyword for this week, because we're at the end now. We kind of went on a tangent, a bunch of random stuff today. I wanted to do guess that plugin, but we'll do it next week.
Yeah,
we'll do it next week. The keyword for this week, why not just have it be Sennheiser? Sennheiser.
Let's go.
Comment it in the comment section down below. And next week we'll be picking another 5 winners to win, hopefully, another microphone. I got to talk to them again, but maybe the next 3 episodes we'll give away a microphone. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully that'll be awesome.
We're giving away a Cybertruck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to get the show to that point where we're giving away a Tesla. Right. I want to be giving away some crazy stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
Yeah.
I want to be doing that. But yeah, keyword for next week. If you haven't already, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and as always, make sure to share this with a friend if you get me.